Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the final of the Perth Sevens. This one, Argentina versus Australia. Now, I believe this is a repeat of what we saw last year for this exact same leg of the Sevens. It's going to be an interesting one. Argentina coming in with quite a bit of momentum after a big victory over Spain, whereas for the Australians, it was a hard-fought contest up against South Africa, in which they were able to win during bonus point time. But looking through at the starting lineups, first of all, for the Argentines, it will be Santiago Mari alongside Luciano Gonzalez, Matteo Graziano, Marcos Maneta, Joaquin Palandini, Santiago Alvarez, and also Tobias Wade. Last man in the starting side for the Australians. They've had quite a few changes. That is due to injuries that we did see in their game up against South Africa. Ben Dowling moves into the starting side. Matthew Gonzalez, Josh Turner, Aiden Kanayaki, who did score himself the last-minute try in golden point time to help the Australians win that contest. Jaden Blake, Hadley Tonga, and also Michael Isley, last man. And the starting lineup, Australia started off their campaign with 2 losses in a row, then went on to win their next 3, including the quarters and the semi-finals. It does look like James Turner is not going to be available for this game, and off the bench they only have 3 options: Maurice Longbottom, Ben Dalton, and Sydney Harvey. So missing Hayden Sargent, missing James Turner, and the numbers are really going down at the moment for this Australian team. But the question is, can they get over the line? Argentina by 5, says Daniel there. We have got the national anthems just taking place. Australia might just get it done. If they did, they're at home, so of course they've got that little bit of an advantage in some regards, but for them to lose as many players as they have and to somehow still win would be very impressive. This Argentine side, they are fired up. They are defending champions of Perth, and of course that doesn't sit too well with this Australian side, seeing as they have to try and defend their home turf. We have got there 3:32 a.m. here in Vancouver, and both sides good. Have to pick Aussie as I live here, but Argentina can win. Says Ram, yeah, could easily go either way when these two sides step onto the field. And we come end of show, says Ruslin. And we should mention there is also the women's final taking place just around the corner between Australia and New Zealand. And the reason I bring that up is because Australia are in both finals, and maybe it could be a very successful day for the home sides. Go the Pumas, says Villy Lear. Yes, hoping to see Los Pumas get the big victory. But off their bench, I mentioned about how Australia only have 3 options. For Argentina, they have got 5, including Augustin Fraha, Santiago Verafield, and Elizalde, just to name 3 who might be able to bring quite the impact. But like I mentioned, Argentina having a comfortable win in their semi-final fixture that was up against the Spanish Sporting Aussies, says LFG. You're hoping to see the home side get the victory. Marcos Maneta, he is coming off a hat-trick in that semi-final. For the Australians, like I mentioned, they went to golden point. They lost about 3 of their players along the way. So it is going to be extremely challenging. And Vamos Fleschen, says Mikhail there, and could be the double for Aussie. A lot of pressure, says Ram. And yeah, I should mention for the first time ever, they are actually having the women's final after the men's final for the 7th Circuit when they start, says Julian Moses, in about 2 minutes. They just had to finish the Australian national anthem. They're up to talking about the land, so that's about halfway through. Rich and Grand, I think is what that line was. So yeah, they're getting very close to the end of the national anthem, and then we will be straight into the action. Do let me know your score predictions in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if anyone can nail it in terms of the exact score. I'm going to go 21-14 in favour of Argentina. But then that's very optimistic because both of these sides have missed a lot of kicks, mainly Australia. So I'm actually going to go 21-10. No, 21-12. 21-12, final answer. I'm going to put it in the chat before I change my mind. We'll go like this, 21 points to 12. There we go. That's me prediction. Mikhail has gone 19 points to 14. Now we have got there 14 points to 12. Who's that in favour of, Ruslan Lee? Is that in favour of Argentina for that one? AJ Jacobs, he will be the referee in charge of this one. 117 matches under his belt. 28 points to 19 to Argentina. Extra time it's on, says Ram. So you're going with a really close game, 14 points to 19 for the Aussies. Says Mr. Gray. Everyone seems to be roughly around that same margin, and it seems to be that pretty much every single person is picking at least 2 tries for the loser in this match. So expecting a high-scoring game by the looks of it here, but we are now underway for the Perth Sevens final. It will be Argentina to kick this one off. When do the women play? They are playing in around 40 minutes' time. Nicely taken there by Australia with Michael Isley. And like I said already, many injuries coming, but a great run forward from the youngster Aiden Ikinayaki, 19 years of age, and managed to get that last-minute try for Australia in the last contest. A little bit of a slip from inside of their own 22 was Hadley Tonga. This is his series debut. So he certainly wants to be able to step up here. Probably didn't expect to get a huge amount of minutes in this one. Oh, a change there. 28 points to 14 in favour of Argentina. And 12 to 14 in favour of the Australians. Now, possession here for Los Pumas. Marcos Moneta. Him and Luciano Gonzalez, of course, are 2 really strong impact players. Mari goes across to the right-hand side. Or in fact, no, sorry, left to Luciano Gonzalez. Tries to fend his way through. Is eventually wrestled down. Aussies need to relax, defend and take opportunities. Sears Ram kicked him behind. Marcos Moneta showing off his pace. He's just landed on the guy on the ground. That is normally a penalty, but the ref has let it slide. Maybe deciding that there wasn't enough contact there. Also not really much of a release there from Argentina. Now Gonzalez gets to a few metres out from the line. Pass him back across, and it looks like now James Turner, or in fact, sorry, the other Turner, Josh, has decided just to boot that ball as far downfield as he physically can. Argentina, they will pick this ball up just outside of their 22. Luciano Gonzalez from a standing start is tackled well. Josh Turner, that will be an easy penalty to give if he does get his hand on the ball, and that is due to the player not rolling away. I don't think he's spotted Blake being in that breakdown. Crowd are not too happy about it, but he's got to make more of an effort to get out of there rather than just lying in, hoping the ref doesn't see him. And Puma's coming strong. Says Ruslan. Argentina are back in the cup final for the first time this season. Last cup final was Madrid 2024. It's the stat that they've just shown, and that kick has found touch from Argentina. How's your prediction working out, Hamish? Doing well, thanks for your superb commentary. So my prediction was 21-12, and at the moment, it's not sitting too badly. And kicking game for the Aussies. Now going to be throwing this ball in, nicely taken by Argentina. Sitting about 40 metres out from their line. Back to the right. Alvarez, tackled by Michael Isley. We have got the kicking game for the Aussies. Says Ram. Yeah, it was a very good kick downfield from Josh Turner to make a lot of metres and at least get them out of a danger situation. Luciano Gonzalez tackled on the halfway line. Your time stopped, says Megan. At the moment, we are sitting 4 minutes remaining in this first half, so the clock is actually fast on screen. Now, nice stepping coming from Mari. Palandini looks to the left-hand side. This could be danger. Inside ball to Marcos Moneta. Too much pace, and does score the try. A Aussie woman paying $3.60. Wonder if that is because Maddie Levi is out and Faith Nathan says not, mum. Maybe. Although, that's the thing. The last time that they went head-to-head with New Zealand in the final, Maddie Levi actually didn't have that much of an impact. I feel like there are certain games where New Zealand are able to shut her down. So even if she is out, I think Australia will still be just as strong. A kick and make them run back, says Ram, but brilliant work from Marcos Moneta to get the early try on the board in this final. And now after 4 minutes of the half, Argentina are leading 7 points to 0. I'm also around your prediction, but 19 points to 12 for the Pumas, says Villy. I'm here to like you and leave you, says RIP. Well, it was good to see you very briefly before you do pop away. Moneta in full flight. He's so quick, says Reef. Yeah, an extremely hard man to stop when he does start running fast. And it's going to be knocked on there by the youngster. And now breaking down the wing, Luciano Gonzalez. It will be another try for the Pumas back-to-back. And that is the last thing that the Argentines, that the Australians would have wanted for Argentina just to give themselves an even more drastic lead. And Matty rather spending time with me says, when the last time I was watching you live was Australia versus West Indies, when West Indies beat them. That was a test match and a half, that is for sure. I mean, some brilliant work from Shamar Joseph. And also just that whole West Indian side. That is definitely a memory and a half for that match. And big score says Julian Moses, geez, it's 12 points, vamos Los Pumas. That kick has missed away to the side. So the score now 12-0 in favour of Argentina. Miss Isgro in the formation, made a good pair with Lucho. There's Macau, another big shot coming in from Argentina, and they will win another penalty. They are all over Australia now. Now, these two sides have met in a final before, and in that one, I believe Argentina were able to bring up 40 points. They dominated Australia. If the Aussies can't get the momentum in their favour, this one could go a little bit the same way. Great Pumas showing their class. Here's Ruth. Just taking the big shot there. Kanayaki, but it was beautifully timed by Argentina's rushing forward defence. Australia back in the cup final for the first time since Perth last season, 7 tournaments ago. As the other stat that has just popped up, power and pace with no silly mistakes. Says Ruth, that is the key for these two sides. But Argentina, they have got themselves the scrum feed from inside of Australia's 22. We are only sitting around 30 minutes away from the women's final, and we are also going to be covering that one on the channel. Check the clock, lad. Says Megan. So once again, the clock is a little bit wrong. As you can see, it says 7 minutes, but we're actually only 6 minutes through, so that is why we don't update it as often, just because it is ahead at the moment with the online scoreboard. But we are keeping you updated with the score and also the time, so hopefully that is slightly helpful. Now it's going to be a nice ball. Tobias Wade goes across to Marcos Maneta. They've taken him down around the bootlaces. Now Augustin Fraha can't quite get through. Back across. Palandini. Go on now with the pass on the outside. Murray. Battery flat says Ruslan Lee. And that's the thing. It would have taken so much out of the Australians for their golden point win over South Africa. Both of those sides putting in huge hits, plus Australia losing 2 players due to injury. Nice ball on the outside. Now stepping there, Raziano. That's going to be knocked backwards by the youngster Hadley Tonga. And Yamakal, another try coming for Los Pumas, says Ruth. Another good step. And it did go backwards in the end for Hadley Tonga. Now only about 8 metres out from the line. Argentinian flags from Elena there. And they are certainly doing well. Harvey, he will make his way onto the field. That's going to be actually for the youngster Hadley Tonga. So even though they've got a couple young guys out there, they've actually gone with one of these slightly older players, like only by like a year or two. And they're taking off the young 18-year-old. Ready for the Aussie comeback, says Ram. Now going to be thrown in, not the cleanest line out, but it is going to work well. Palandini, that looked like a knock-on. Yes, it was. And now Australia will have themselves the scrum. Shame, never mind, Aussies. I don't have to be too sad. Silver medal, says Ruth. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be happy to make it through to this final, but they will want the best possible outcome. At the end of the day, this is the first final, like we said, in about 7 legs of the 7 circuit. So, you know, if you get all the way there, you want to get those full points available. Australia currently sitting 7th in the overall rankings. Argentina are 5th. We've seen 9 passes from Australia in this first half compared to the 30 of Los Pumas. Now Australia, oh, what a steal in that scrum. That was a forward pass, though, by the looks of it, from Argentina. But it is going to be play on just for now. Marcos Maneta, they are trying to drive him towards the touchline. I am really surprised that that one wasn't called. Now across into the middle of the field. Raziano gets the offload away now. Wide cutout pass. It will be the try for Argentina, and that is not what the Aussies wanted at the end of the half. Sofa's tied out the Aussies. Says Hanoi there. Yeah, that looked very close to a forward pass from the Argentines. Of course, it was the initial steal from Argentina at scrum time. And yeah, that little flick pass up, I believe that did drift forward. They're showing it from the behind angle, so there is no way to know from that one anyway. And then cutting back across to the right. That was pretty close to forward. Passing it out wide. But Argentina, they reap the rewards. And they are now up to 17. Now, sadly, this is going to be a tough kick. And it does miss, which does mean that my prediction can now no longer happen of 19 points to 12. Or, no, I went 21-12, which still can't happen anyway. 12-0 says Damien. I know now 17-0 in favour of Argentina. Now, the only benefit that Australia have is we have seen another team that were 17-0 up at halftime, then go on to lose a game, that being the Fijians up against Uruguay. Now we have got there, como ver el partido gratis. Transmission says front. I assume that is whereabouts to watch, and the best option is on the World Rugby Sevens website. They tell you the exact options for the best options depending on where you are in the world. But now, second half just around the corner. Already Argentina, it is their game to lose. We haven't seen the best of the Australians. Like we said, extremely fatiguing for that first half. Or sorry, for that last game up against the South Africans. Roof, I'm worried about the Sharks and the Cape Town Beaches. We've got the crying faces there from Nathan. Although the game is not over yet. Like I said, we've seen the comeback win for Uruguay up against Fiji. And in this case, I feel like Australia definitely do need to find some sort of similar situation. But off the bench, we've also got to remember Argentina had 5 options off the reserves bench. Australia, they have only got 2 more. They've already made the one change of Hadley Tonga off the field for the young number 15, Sydney Harvey. 24 minutes away from the Women's Cup final taking place between New Zealand and Australia. It's going to be a very intriguing one to see whether or not Australians can win on home soil. I think you and me, I must not put any money on our score prediction, says Villy. That is why I always say I do not bet, because I often get it very wrong. And Longbottom does not kick at the 10 metres. It's also so unpredictable for the Sevens. You just never know what's going to happen. Aussie comeback or more pain. I think more pain might be on the cards because that kickoff from Maurice Longbottom was poor. We got Michaela, says Glenn, and Sharkies are out there. Are they close to beaches? Well, they're close to beaches. Magnificent creature, huge, says Ruth. Now going off to the right-hand side. Chance here for Argentina. Tobias Wade. Offload on the inside to Murray. He's going to be a hard man to catch, but Australia doing relatively well until the pass goes out wide. Palandini one more, and Gonzalez will score it in the corner. And it's just back to back to back at the moment for Los Pumas. 4 unanswered tries. Now they have been missing the kicks. A long bottom, short bottom, or side bottom, says Ruth, but that is now the 9th try of the 7th circuit for Luciano Gonzalez. Just nicely done by Tobias Wade, got it away to Mari. And Speedy Gonzalez, says Glenn Woods. Yeah, just gives it out to Gonzalez, who can finish the job. Now getting ready to kick this one. Palandini does miss away to the side again, so that is now 3 missed kicks here for Argentina, but for Australia to win, they would have to get 4 tries back. Nicely taken by the youngster, Akanayake, who runs forward out to the 22-metre line. Now Dowling on the short side, drop ball out wide, playing the ball on the ground as well. Could have been the penalty going against the Aussie number 10. So unbelievable, Hamish. What a thrashing for the Kangas. Will the New Zealand Women's play the Blokes tonight? And that's going to be another try. And that is Graziano who does score it. This is going to be like that game that I mentioned, that one-sided affair from back in the day when these two sides played. I think it was last year or the year prior, and this is exactly what happened. Argentina got on a tear, and they just didn't slow down. Let's hope the Aussie gals win. Says Hanoi there. And yeah, Graziano, he knew he was through. 29-0 now. I think every single prediction gave at least 2 tries to the Australians. I'm just looking through. Yeah, no one gave less than 2 tries to Australia. And at the moment, they might struggle to score 1. The whole team getting tries. Carries 29 for Argentina. 4 line breaks. Australia haven't had a single line break through. Show. Says Damien there. Now, it's going to be kicked off again for Argentina. Nicely taken by Kanayaki. He was one of the taller players out there, and that is going to be a double knock-on from Australia, and they were both of them. And Aussie's not going to win for Australia Day. O'Dear, a blowout bugger, not enough beer in the diet. Says Ram, and Argentina supporters are ecstatic, as they should be. This has been a dream performance in the final so far from Argentina. Damn so much for my prediction, says Nathan. If it makes you feel better, everyone so far from the predictions haven't been too close. I think 28 points for Argentina is the highest. That was Novmum and also Tizzy Dajic. And other than that, everyone else was lower than that. And they are still going. But here comes Argentina. Chance to run it forward. Here comes Tonga. I thought he went off in the first half. Great pace shown. And he goes over for the try. That's a great finish from the Australian. I said 36-7 to the Pumas. If you scroll up, says Andre G. I'm looking through. Oh, yeah, no, there it is. At 12:40. So that was 12 minutes ago. That won't be a mile off then in terms of it would have been close. Oh, it was when they were 12-0 up, was it? We will slightly allow it, though. Even though it was relatively late once they had already started scoring. We have got there, Andre was being honest with his prediction. And just saw New Zealand women's semi-final against France. Michaela Blythe got 4 tries. Says Glenn Woods, and now they go head-to-head with the Australians, 29 points to 5 here in this contest. And vamos, Argentina, says Elena. Now going back across to the left-hand side. Now, going back to the right-hand side again here. Nice fin coming from Augustine Fraha. Dragged down on the halfway line. 3 minutes remaining. Another flat ball from Argentina. Position on the halfway line. Raziano goes to the short side. Oh, he's just sold Maurice Longbottom the wrong way. Fraha towards the corner. Needs to pass it. Gets it away to Graziano. And that is another try here for Argentina. They have almost silenced the Aussie supporters. They certainly have not silenced the Argentines. Kayla Break, she's married now, says Glenn Woods. And we have got there Argentina 1 for Australia Day, says Annoy. And yeah, Maurice Longbottom just completely sold the wrong way there. And try Australia, says Ruth. And Graziano. Happy with that one. Another try, says Ruth. At the moment for Australia, they will be just hoping that this game comes to a close. Big score, says Julia Moses. Kicked up high again. She's still blind to us, says Wenma. Nicely taken by Aussie. And Aussie girls should put a couple of men on the bench like New Zealand women do, says Ram. You seem to have an obsession with, like, female players being men, Ram. Just in general, it seems to be the only thing you go back to. And also the fact that the top teams don't lose well. That's your other one that you have said 15 times today. And now 22 metres out for the line. Nice offload again for Argentina. You know what, that was almost like hurdling forward. A little bit of pressure being put on by the Aussie defence. But at the moment, Argentina are just running it in for fun. Give me a break. No, she's break now. It was on her shirt. Says Novmum. Oh, a little bit of a slip for actually both players, the man with the ball and the man who was trying to make the tackle. So happy with these Pumas. Tell you what, they just look exhausted. Tonga gets wrong-footed. You could see it on his face. He was not happy when trying to line up that tackle. And they move up to 41 points to 5 now. There will still be time left on the clock. Not sure what the biggest win is for Argentina up against Australia, but we are getting towards it, I would think. I'm happy with these Pumas, and they are back on top. And yeah, Hadley Tonga, you could just see the massive breath that he was taking before he had to make the tackle. Oh, we have got there. Thank you for commenting, says Ram. And give me some mud wrestling and Nutella. And yeah, I'm having always sublime, says Ruth. Now 23 tournaments, 27 tries for Graziano. Going to be kicked in behind. There was the full-time siren, and Argentina win this game 41 points to 5. A dominant performance from the Pumas from start to finish. Australia snuck one try in there, but it was nowhere near enough. And we have there the Argentine flags from Laura there too. But yeah, Maurice Longbottom, he is gutted with that performance. They just weren't even close. Argentina, they were better with ball in hand. In fact, they probably had about 85% of the possession. A slight hiding. Sears Ram, and thanks so much for the content. No worries at all. We have still got the women's final that is taking place just around the corner. We are starting that live stream in 15 minutes' time. So anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. 31.5 says Andre G. 41.5, I think you do mean in that case. Yeah, very impressive from this Argentine side. And I said, oh no, I read that one, didn't I? Congratulations, Argentina, you deserve it. More than us, mate, well done. And it was 31 points to 5. I think they also had a 40 in there, didn't they? 42-12 or something. I think that might have been in Cape Town a while ago. I know that they have had a big win where they got into the 40 points. Have a quick look just while we are doing a bit of fact-checking. Fantastic game for the Pumas. You're the best Kiwi lad, says Glenn Woods. And Los Pumas, says Mikhail. And wait until the women's final, man. Well done, Argentina, says Ram. One moment. We'll go like this. We will go like that as well. And I need a cold beer. And now thanks, everyone, says Ruth. Where is it? Now that the competition is over, you see, it's all disappeared far away. Right, there we go. We're into the sevens. Argentina, of course, winning this one very comfortably. Where's that final that we're thinking of? Where they dominated up against the Australians. I mean, they beat Samoa in the final by the looks of that. Oh, sorry, that was actually earlier game. Perth last year was 31-5, but yeah, the week prior, or sorry, the competition prior, Cape Town was the one I was thinking of, and that is 45 points to 12 was the win in favour of Argentina. So they have scored higher points, but they have had a large margin before up against this Australian side as well. Good commentary, man. And odds won 26-19, 3rd of May 2024. But yeah, it is that Cape Town one on the 11th of December that we were thinking of. They'll be eating barbecue late into the night. Cold shower as well. A ref after the Nutella wrestling comment, says Glenn Woods. And good commentary, man, says Ram. Yeah, we will be back for... Oh, they've got Santi, the coach, on FaceTime at the moment. He was actually able to talk to the players during this competition. And Vamos Amish says Gus. And nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And we will be back for the women's final in 10 minutes' time. We will see you all for the next one.